Jaman, welcome. Today we're talking about karma and how we feel about it, if we feel it's real or if we feel it's fake. Let's get into it. I think karma is very real. What goes around comes around, full circle. What I don't know is at what level does it actually stop existing? Is past life karma real? Is karmic relationships a real thing? How much karmic debt do you have to pay? So because of that, I'm just gonna go with what I know, speak on how I feel. In this life, there's consequences to your actions. And every action that you take determines the rest of your life.
I like to hope that there is a such thing as past life karma because, I mean, come on. Your life is put in the hands of two people, maybe one person, maybe multiple people, and you have no control, at least for the first part of your life. So I like to think that's a bit karmic. That's a bit harsh. And who's to say that these people, that these caregivers of yours, are even going to cater to you and nurture you in the best ways possible? So I definitely like to say that I believe that there is past life karma. Now, speaking in present life, can you add to that? I can't say. I do believe in vibration. And I do believe that you can be God or the devil. And by that, I mean you can choose to vibrate on a frequency that is high or a frequency that is low. And I think the purpose is to kind of connect to those higher frequencies and grasp them and hold on to them as tight as we can for as much as we can, for as long as we can, so that others can either be motivated by it, inspired by it. I think that's what we came to do. So when we talk about religion and things like that, talk about evangelism, that's really the same thing. We want to evangelize to others how if we just tune in to the right radio stations, if we could just tune into the right frequencies, the right vibrations, that the actions, our actions. I want to know. I want to believe that I know that our actions aren't what determine our complete and entire future and destiny. I feel like come from the lowest of low, and then you turn around and you're an inspiration to majority. You're an inspiration to masses.
So you said you believe in vibration and you believe you could be God or the devil, meaning depending on what you choose to do, you can be on a high frequency or on a low frequency. I want to use that to go into free will and the connection it has to your destiny, because the same way you have the free will to choose to be God or the devil and vibrate high or vibrate low is directly connected to what happens in your future. If you choose to vibrate on a low level and may come back to you in a negative way, that was your free will determining your destiny.
And I always wonder, how much of it is it your free will if your actions and your persona, your character, your demeanor was, all these things, these characteristics that make you who you are, shaped by all these different beings, all these different walks of life, these environments, these programs. How much of it is it really your free will? You know what I mean? If you didn't get a clean slate on what you even get to do with that free will, and even to the point of your knowledge of it in the way that you get to choose how to dictate your body and just all these different things, why be given free will if it ends in consequence? I'm the type of person that I always, why this, why this, why that. And for the sake of conversation, this is, this is for you guys. I've learned to kind of get away from always asking why, because in reality, it just is. Everything that you've ever seen or experienced, it just is. And we are learning to cope with it. That's what life is all about.
I get what you're saying because depending on the environment that you're in and how you're brought up, you're kind of forced to make certain choices that have consequences that are literally inevitable and you can't avoid. And in that way, it's unfair, which apparently life isn't fair and you're supposed to make the best out of your circumstances, but it could also all be an illusion.
Or it could be, I am so abundant, as if I needed food, I could go outside and I could grow it. If I needed water, I could get a water purifier and use water from a river, and I'll have an abundant amount of water. Or, okay. No, but seriously, abundance is so many things. Abundance isn't having a mansion. Abundance is knowing that you're warm in your house when you needed to be warm. You're cool in your house when you need to be cool. You have sound mind, wisdom, and understanding. You have awareness, even if you have flaws that you don't like, even if there are things going on around you. You have the capacity to view it, to interpret it, to perceive it. Look at all these good things that we have, all these good abilities and these good powers that we have, even regardless of the amount in your bank account, regardless of how many friends you have. Look at the things that you have in abundance, the abundance of health that you have. If you don't have a abundance of health, the abundance of eyesight that you have, that you can see. If you don't have eyesight, the abundance that you can hear things. And if you don't have hearing, the abundance that you can have an experience. And if you don't have a human experience, the abundance that you can die and you can go away and you can have a different experience because you never really die, and you're just energy, and you just continue and you just continue and you just continue and you just continue and you have another chance. If we could just tune into that, I think we'd be so much better off. And I think that we would be motivated to appreciate more of the good and more of the good in our life. And it will become habitual. We don't have to tune into the fear and what others around us are. And if we have the mindset that we know that these things don't work and they don't accomplish anything, we have the ability to do something different. You have a mind that creates, and you can tap into that creativity, and you can change the path. You can break it. We talk about breaking generational curses all the time, and that's one. Fear and worry. We can break that. You don't have to tune into that.
Yes, gratitude is magnetic. Love is magnetic. Positivity is magnetic. That will be your karma. More things to be grateful for will be your karma. More things for you to love will be your karma. More things for you to be joyful about will be your karma. So create whatever you want to create. Put yourself in the environment that you want to be in. Give yourself the view that you want to see in front of you. And just know what comes with whatever you choose. Have awareness of the consequences of the actions that you take.
And I think a big takeaway from this would be, a lot of people hear the word karma and they automatically assume something negative. So I want to emphasize that karma, you can have good karma and bad karma. So that's what he's basically presenting. So take advantage of that free will now that you're older, or take advantage of that free will at any given time to connect with your inner being. And you are now responsible for, now that you have the awareness, you are now responsible for, even if it's one day out of the week, 1 hour out of the week, you can get away and you can introduce yourself into a different environment and see how it shifts your perspective on life and the things around you, just give yourself the opportunity to see things other than your frame of existence, your perspective of your existence. Just allow yourself newness. Allow yourself to be open and vulnerable in spaces where you felt uncomfortable in. Because at the end of the day, you can't be careful your way into safeness. You can't be careful your way into the version that you want to be. You have to take risk on yourself. And a risk could be believing the opposite of the negative thoughts that you keep running into. Take the risk of sacrificing your comfortability into the negative pattern of thoughts that your brain has trained yourself or trained itself to be in. Risk your comfortability for a better life. And it sounds easier said than done. But if you could just risk a little bit of your comfortability, if you could just stop reaching for the familiar feelings when you wake up or during the day, or if you could just silence it, or if you could just even speak out the opposite of it. If you could just take an inch so you can eventually take another inch, so you can eventually get to that foot, so you can eventually get to that mile.
Yeah, baby, it's all about baby steps. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can get notifications next time we drop. And we drop a podcast every Friday. Yeah.